This is BWP Encore Radio with Steve Saxon and Dylan Roberts.
This is BWP Encore and I am your host. My name, Dylan Roberts, 100% Welsh Beef. Joining me to my left, as always, like the Anton Deck of Britannia, is Steve Saxon. Steve, say hello.
Hello, Beef. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Listen, this show is guaranteed to give you more ribs than a DJ Mac barbecue and more cheese at a Spice Girls reunion as I welcome our guest. His credentials go as this. He is a two-time BWP Catchweight champion and a one-time BWP Tag Team champion, a close friend of myself and Steve's. He is Tom Russon, better known to you as Lord Graham Thomas III. Tom, hello. How are you? I'm very well, thanks.
Very good, thank you, Tom. How are you? Had a good day? Good day, sunburn, because we've just literally got back from Denby Carnival. We do it every year, and LGT made us in-ring return for BWP, unofficial in-ring return for BWP for just over 12 months.
Yeah, so about 16 months now, and it's official.
It's official, is it?
Official. We'll go with official.
We'll go with official.
You are back then, are you?
We'll go with yes.
Okay, for the time being, until he fucks someone else off. Right. Sorry, mate. Okay, so thanks for being here, pal.
No, thank you.
We'll start nice and easy. We'll start at the beginning in professional wrestling, how you got your, what made you want to be a wrestler, and, if there's anybody, when you watched on TV, who inspired you and things like that, what made you want to lace up the boots, as it were, and get into a wrestling school?
Okay, well, first started just watching wrestling as a fan, as everyone else has done, and that's where pretty much everyone began. Watched wrestling SummerSlam 1991, I believe was the first one I ever watched.
Yeah.
Don't really remember the show, but I do remember the show after, which was Survivor Series 91, and it was Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker.
Yeah.
And the Undertaker became the WWF champion at the time.
Yeah.
Watched it from there and just got hooked, and have never stopped watching it since, and have never grown from it.
So where did you train at? Where did you go? Did you find it on the internet? Was the internet around when you started? Because
with regarding to getting into wrestling, bit of a weird story. Me and a friend went and played badminton of all sports. It's a real sport.
It is definitely a sport, yeah.
It's a real sport.
Yeah, it's not like Tiddlywinks.
No. And we saw a poster asking who would like to learn how to wrestle. So me and my friend, both wrestling fans, decided to go. We were both talking on the way there, saying if it's full of kids, we're leaving. And weirdly enough, it was full of adults.
Alright, yeah.
So we stayed, did our first lesson, like hell the next day, went back the next week, like hell the next week, and so on and so forth. And that was an FCW training school that they had, which is Future Championship Wrestling. Sorry, there's a cheap plug in there as well.
Right, okay. Who was the trainer at the time?
Trainer at the time was Kevin O'Neill, the Tomcats, a wrestler called the Bouncer.
Yeah.
And occasionally we had people like Dave Morales, aka Dave Mastiff,
Yeah.
come down, and somebody who's on TNA now by the name of Spud.
Oh yeah, he's a nice guy.
He is.
He's a lovely guy, isn't
It's short.
he? Yeah, well, it's okay.
It's cool. So yeah, and we had those come down and teach us how to wrestle, and well, in my case, try to wrestle.
Who was your friend that you went down with? Is he still going, or?
No, I might tell this story. He was wrestled one show only on our debut show, and his name was Andy Mack.
Andy Mack.
Really original.
That's cool.
And in relation to D?
No, he should have been. That should be a tag team.
They should definitely be a tag team.
I'll get on to it.
Get on. Please do. Please
The
book
Macs.
it.
Yeah, he can come back as the return of the Mac. Music's booked. It's there. Yeah, that's it. Sax, make it happen.
Book it. Right then. So, FCW. Are they still going FCW?
Yeah, they've been going 12 years now. Last time I was on their shows, maybe it was, I think, November 2011.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, they still run every Sunday at their venue, and they go from strength to strength still, so yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So let's just bring you forward a little bit to your time BWP then.
Okay.
December 2008. our first show in Llandudnog in North Wales. It's supposed to be a one-off show, and I didn't know you from Adam. I don't even know how you got on the show, to be honest with you. Go on, tell the story.
It was through a mystery wrestler who, again, you know as well, was the superstar Jay Icon.
Jay Icon. Yeah, I know Jay. Was Jay Icon working for Texas Joe?
He was.
And he just brought a group in from Birmingham, yeah?
You just asked him for a carload of people.
And he brought you?
Brought me, and brought another person.
Tommy Gunn? Von Gunn. Von Gunn, that nice.
Von Gunn. Some of these names are horrendous.
Von Gunn. Who's June?
Tommy Gunn as a heel German.
I mean,
heel German?
He's German. With Matt Hunter? Yeah, Von Hunter. Von Gunn and Von Hunter.
Yeah?
Legit Germans.
Really?
Against Texas Joe and Brad Matthews. Legit
Texas
Americans.
Joe, he's definitely from... That's the Ric Flair tag team partner guy.
That's right, yeah. He tagged Ric Flair. Have you seen the picture in his wallet of Ric Flair and him?
He carries it in his wallet.
Photoshop one.
It's not photoshopped, it's completely legit.
Yeah, okay. I apologise, Tex. Sorry? Oh, yeah, they're all photoshopped.
They're not photoshopped, it's just different lighting.
Sorry.
Different lighting.
So coming into BWP, you didn't know who we were, obviously, because we were nobody at that point. We didn't know who you were. So what were your thoughts?
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
We'll leave it there.
So what was your thoughts about coming into BWP to work for us for the first time, before and during that show, and after the show?
Okay, before, I just treated it as it was a payday. Apologies.
That's fine.
Probably screwed you out of money anyway in the past. We'll probably get into that.
We will get into that. It's going to be a long interview, Tom.
So yeah, first time, just came in as payday. I was like, great, I'll do something different to work as well. Then it was doing the show, saw how many people you got in, it was packed out from the venue. Obviously it wasn't a massive venue.
No, it wasn't. It was about 150 odd people or something like that.
But still, it was a packed out venue, which is always better to work in front of a packed out venue.
Of course.
On a debut show than working in front of nobody,
Yeah.
which I've done in the past. Enjoyed the show, enjoyed my match from what I remember. I think I had one incident, the finish with me and Jay Icon, was something involving salt or...
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
my thing, cane, I think I had. I can't remember. I think it was a cane.
Did you do something with his knee or his...
Yeah, I think I had a cane or a stick and the top screwed off, but because I was so sweaty, I couldn't unscrew the top.
That's
So
right,
I
yeah.
couldn't do the finish.
Alright.
So, I just hit it with the cane. But yeah, it was a really good show, really enjoyed it. And then obviously we started talking, and after on the way back home, talking about, it's a good show, James going to be a one-off, clearly you thought it was going to be a one-off as well.
At the time, yeah.
And then we carried on talking, I believe, through the magic of maybe MySpace, or...
I think it was, yeah, it's definitely, it would have been
It might have been
MySpace back then,
MySpace.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Old
Did you
school.
get a page as well? You used a page back then. Yeah, I had a pager.
I never had a pager.
I had a pager.
I never did. I went straight to mobile. Yeah.
Alright, whatever. Sorry.
Okay, so you started working BWP, and of course that was the first show, and you're still with us now. You've had a bit of a gap, like you said, for the last 16 months or so, but apart from that, you're a BWP original. You've been pretty much on every single show, I think, for the first few years, more or less.
Quite successful.
Quite successful in BWP, absolutely. You
Politic most of those.
have absolutely politicked your way all the way to the top and back down again, haven't you?
No, getting back there was quite...
Yeah, you did that quite easy by yourself, didn't you? You didn't need any help with that at all. So you did quite well for us in BWP. Had a couple of good runs. Former, as Beef said before, two-time champion, Catchweight champion, one-time tag team champion with Dean McManus. Tell us a little bit more about your earlier days. I mean, obviously our talent pool back then wasn't anywhere near as good as the talent pool that we've got now.
Am I going to be honest?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
The talent pool was great, if that's the word.
It was the top dog back then, do you remember?
Ooh, I think it was probably Seb Winters.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's kind of you and Seb were...
Seb was probably the top baby face. Obviously you had people like coming up with Jim King, Marcus King, some man who came out in like pink and stuff like that, but I can't remember his name. Do you remember at all?
The guy that came out in pink?
No idea.
It wasn't you, was it?
It might have been me. 'Cause
You got pink and black here, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
could be me,
You were looking
Could have been you,
at it,
yeah.
but I can't remember his name. But no, some of the talent though was shocking.
They're terrible.
El Costello was dreadful.
He was
Yeah?
Still angry at him for winning like Villain of the Year at the show.
Oh, we'll go back to politics again, aren't we? No?
You have won quite a few awards with BWP, especially in the earlier days, haven't you? And we were going to go to the...
Is that from by default? He won the
yeah,
awards?
because everybody else was pretty shit, to be honest with you.
Mine wasn't great.
Is that what you had match of the year, did you?
I think I had Oh My God moment.
Oh my God moment of the year, yeah.
What was that for, Jumper?
Yeah, going through a table 3 times, the same table, and it didn't break.
Because it wouldn't break, it was a Japanese table, apparently.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
thanks to Lee and Jim Hunter for...
That's right, yeah.
Table.
And they still charged me for it. Yeah, bastards.
Did it break in the end?
Yeah,
Eventually, yeah. That was in Real Little Theatre, wasn't it, against Jim King?
It was, yeah.
That was the long, hot summer, is it? What we dubbed the angle at the time.
Yeah, and I think it was a 2 out of 3 stages of hell match.
That's right, yes, it was.
Was the table the 3 stages of hell? Each time you hit it.
So, Jim beat me for the title that night.
That's right, yeah. I mean, you and Jim King, obviously Jim King, when he came into it, was quite... I think he was on our second ever show in mid-Wales. And then he stayed with us for about 3-4 years. Never missed a show, never missed a booking. Did quite well in the end. But I remember thinking, well, he's a guy that's got a bit of potential, but who can I put him with? And the only decent heel that we had at that time was you. What was it like for you working, Jim? Somebody that was so, like, at the time, well, I'm sure you would agree, was absolutely green as goose shit and
Totally.
really into his own self-hype. And
Yeah, definitely. I remember remember wrestling at one show, maybe it was his 3rd ever match, and I think it was my first time back after the original show, because I think I missed your 2nd show.
in mid-Wales, yeah, that's right.
And then it was the 3rd show, and I remember wrestling him, and he was dreadful.
Was that the show in Silverdale where the ring collapsed?
No, that was the show I missed.
Right, okay.
So it was the 3rd show, and it must have been the 4th one.
Is that the show with the poles under the... Not the Polish, the poles underneath the boards. Oh, you took a bump, they all fell down.
That's right, yeah. There was
yeah,
basically like 4 scaffolding poles holding
Yeah,
up
yeah,
all 8
yeah.
boards,
Yeah.
something like that.
I've took a choke slam in that ring and collapsed it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Seb Winters did an elbow off the top and went straight through the middle of
Yeah,
it.
that's right, yeah.
That was in Silverdale,
I
yeah.
never worked at Silverdale venue. I missed all those shows for whatever reason.
It was like the first show the ring broke. The second show Keith might end up taking the fire door off its hinges. So they never invited us back, and I don't get it.
That's weird.
I don't know, weird.
It's actually, isn't it?
Stokies.
I think
Fucking weirdos.
JR could have broken nose on Tommy Gunn as well in that show.
Oh, I can't remember.
I think I remember just having a photo, somebody sending me a picture going, look what I've done to him.
All right.
And then just laughing. So,
Very proud.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, so back to Jim.
Yeah.
You know, you ended up having a really good run with him, or a lengthy run.
Yeah.
Whether you think it was good or not is
Personally, I thought it was okay to start with, and as time went on, it got slightly worse and worse. I think that maybe it was me being the big-headed cocky bastard that I was thinking at the time, or he wasn't enjoying it, or he had issues, or whatever. But I did feel that it dwindled off. Like, some of the matches was awful. I remember definitely one at Denby and being shouted to go home, and it was a title match with 3 minutes. Like, I think we had a 4-minute match, and it was just shocking, to be fair. I know I've wrestled him a few times since then, and I did feel like we had our stretch, and I think we just worn out of our stretch and worn out of things to do, because we wrestled pretty much for a year solid, a year and a half solid of just me and him.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the time, we didn't have a lot of choice. Like I said, the talent. But whereas now on the show, we can have anywhere from 15 Summer Rumbles coming up next month. And there's going to be like 35, 40 guys there. Back in them days, if we had a dozen guys there, we were lucky.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, and a lot of guys we used because they were local or they were cheap, and then we brought in the Midlands crew, which was like our experienced crew, really, like yourself and Tommy Gunn in particular. So it's like, well, we've got to mix it up a little bit, and there wasn't a lot that we could do back then, really. But I still stay, if as shit as things, I do watch the videos back from time to time, from 2008, 9, 10, and they're terrible to watch back now. But if it wasn't for those earlier years, we wouldn't be where we are now. So obviously the feuds like you and Jim, they weren't the best, but at the time they mattered. And we got some of our local fan base because of those angles. And I mean, you in particular, like today in Denby, it's wherever you turn up, people still remember that same chant from like last time you were in Denby, which had been a couple of years ago. The Gaylord. Straight away people are jumping straight onto that because they remember.
Yeah, which is a really nice thing, to be fair.
To be called Gaylord.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like the community around here is just so, like the wrestling community around here is so strong that people remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's such a fantastic place to work in this part of the country.
Do you get that in all the different promotions you do work for and have worked for? Is that the generic champ, you Gaylord?
Mr. Generic.
Everywhere, yeah.
Chant, and that's what I always get. If I don't,
yeah, it works, yeah, of course it does, yeah. It's something that you can feed off and interact with the fans with, of course, yeah.
Going back from the start of the BWP and up to the point that you're at now, while we're talking about this, we got a Twitter from Sports Mama. She wants to know if you got a defining moment during your career, either for the good or the bad. Is there one standout moment where you think, oh, that was fucking shocking, or that was the best thing I've ever done?
Good moments. I could probably think it was probably the first time that Mr. Saxon over there gave me the opportunity to be the BWP Catchweight champion.
It was his choice, yeah?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, it was. No, you didn't politic that early on. Once you got it once, then you started to realise, hold on.
Yeah, I can get away with this.
And you did.
Yes.
And you won that from?
Jim King. Truthfully, that was like one of the nicest feelings to have, that someone trusted me to be their champion. I know I'm not the best, and I'm never going to claim to be the best at anything. But it was just really nice, and I did feel like really honoured to be given that chance. I got to take the belt home, but we won't tell you what I did with that belt.
Yeah, please don't, 'cause it's in my living room at the moment. Yeah, it is, yeah.
My OCD's gone off the fucking wall. What about any bad points? Any points where you thought, oh man, I shouldn't have done that? Or I mean, even for you must have some, some like conscious in there thinking, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have said this, or come on, Tom.
Yeah, totally. I've got bad things. Maybe one, not opening my mouth at an award ceremony, the second BWP award ceremony.
Oh yeah.
May have upset a few people.
All right, yeah.
I think I upset everyone at the time.
You did at the time, yeah.
I think who did I upset? Let's think of who we started with. I think I upset Sabotage.
Okay.
He was number one. I think number two, Pitbull. Number three, Andy Baker.
Right.
Number four, Cyanide.
And of course, at the time, it was when Andy Baker, of course, the founder of RWA, and we were just started to use the RWA crew that year.
So you set all of those.
You set all of them. I remember them all getting up and storming outside and basically threatening to leave and never come back to BWP because of you. And
what did you say? I wasn't. This was just before. I think this was the award ceremony before I got to BWP, because I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, it'd be 2010.
No, yeah. So what?
Yeah.
Just for me and everyone listening, what actually got said? What did you
I tell you what, we can do better than that. We can actually play it. Let's just play the sound clip of the one of Tom's acceptance speeches at the 2010 awards bash, where he decided to bash Andy Baker and the babyface Pitbull.
Yes.
I don't care about your RWA lads, whatever. Fuck you all. Andy Baker here, the only the saviour. So thank you to everyone. No, that's fine, they can all. Andy Baker's fine, it's just big bullshit. I'm arguing that fact. He's a shit face. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for Tommy.
Okay, so there you go, Tom. So you had nothing against Andy Baker, it was just Pitbull with shit, yeah?
Pretty much. I apologise to Pitbull for that. I have done since. As I say, nothing else was recorded, thank God, because I could be in real big trouble. But no, I had a few to drink. I was a bit big for my boots. They was all coming in, as I treated it as I was coming into where I'm champ, I'm top dog, quote unquote. And you're going to have to kind of prove it and earn it, and some of them wasn't up to par, even though you say you put people into BWP to get it better, which most of these people are still in BWP now and make it a hell of a lot better. I was there to think, no, you're not that good, and they was only working in one place at that time, and that was RWA, so I can go and wrestle my friends and have great matches, but they was going out there not having wrestling friend, that was all they was doing, was wrestling their friends at the time. So I just wanted to go out there and prove it, and I just had a bit of a chip on my shoulder, so you come into pretty much my place, even though it's not my place, but you have to prove yourself.
Yeah. So obviously you and Pitbull are now are best friends, obviously now, yeah?
So we're best friends.
Oh, right, okay.
We're friends, we're polite, we speak to each other, and
You could know.
I mean, obviously the main concern for the RWA guys that night was Andy Baker wasn't there, and Pitbull wasn't there, so they couldn't defend themselves. And I remember it was like 3 months later we had a show in Saltney, and that was the first night where you and Pitbull were going to be together in the same locker room. And I remember he was absolutely fuming at first, and he just wanted to see you, he wanted to have it out with you, and we thought it was going to come down to fisticuffs between you. But I remember him taking you aside, taking you in a room, and being a little bit heated for a few minutes, but then you both walked out, shook hands, and then just got on with it. And
I remember obviously that show, I believe that they all stood up and turned back at me.
That's right. That's the show where we had the brand up on the stage throughout the whole show, and when you made your entrance, they just turned around and faced the wall.
I found that the funniest thing ever, because especially when they was all going, "Oh, well done, Hammer. Oh, you carried that match," and I took it in my stride. I was like, "Yeah, well, I can't be bothered." And pretty much, fuck you then.
Right, since then, though, I mean, you've become good friends with quite a few of these guys that were involved in that incident. For example, like DJ King, Mike Holland. You and him, I know that he's still an absolute cunt, but you two you socialise together from time to time, but mainly you and Dean McManus. I remember Dean was very offended and very upset that night. But now, obviously, you two guys have gone on to work as a tag team, BWP the Knights of Squared Circle. You've won the tag straps together, and obviously last year when you decided to walk away from BWP for your own, which we'll get onto later, but for your own personal reasons. I remember Dean being quite upset that the tag gimmick had to end because he was really into it and he really enjoyed working with you.
It only just began, to be honest. It wasn't a case of we've been doing it for a while. It wasn't something that just really started and we hadn't even scratched the surface on it. And unfortunately, I was in a wrong place, wrong time, and unfortunately Dean felt that obviously had the issue with it, and I do feel bad that I did let him down at the time. I was really gutted that I was letting him down and letting the team down because I thought we could have had a really good run.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, it's something. It was a tag team and an angle that the fans certainly jumped on straight away. It was fun to watch. But saying that, I mean, Dean was obviously upset at the time because it was the first time Dean had really had a proper angle, a proper position in BWP, other than being just a jobber for a couple of years. But since you've left and he had to leave the tag team, Dean's gone on to quite successful time here at BWP. I mean, one of the tweets that we've had in is, do you miss being in the tag team with Dean, and what do you think about Dean's success over the past few months, over the past 12 months,
Well, I've obviously come to some BWP shows. I've seen Dean improve a hell of a lot even from when we were tagging in the last year. He's gone up from strength to strength, and I do wish him all the best in that. Obviously, maybe one time that we may have to lace up the boots again with him. You never know.
A return of the Knights of the Squared Circle.
You never know, anything's possible.
A one-off return, title win, possibly.
Well, if I can politic now. But now I do miss tagging with him, and like I say, it was something that was only just starting, and I think we could have had a really good time with it. And unfortunately, life goes on.
Of course. Right, I mean, talking about, we keep hinting about your personal issues and the fact that you had to leave BWP because maybe now, yeah?
Yeah, totally.
12 months ago, 16 months ago, it was a different story, yeah?
Yes.
No, obviously this is quite a sensitive subject. A lot of people that follow you on Twitter or Facebook will know, or follow Tom Russon on Twitter and Facebook will know a small amount of what you actually been through over the past 12, 18 months. As Beef and I are good friends with you, we've experienced it on a different level, and we know a little bit more about it. Yeah. How comfortable are you about telling the BWP faithful a little bit about what went on?
I'm perfectly comfortable. I'll go with it, and if it might help somebody, people might realise anything, and I'll be honest about it, so I'll start. When was it? 12 months ago, obviously, when I came to you, you didn't know something that I was going through, and I had a gambling problem, and I'll be perfectly honest, I'm now 68 weeks gamble free.
That's awesome, man.
So,
hold on.
As of this week, and in the process of me having a gambling issue, I lost pretty much job, my fiance at the time, home. I lost everything, and I was just not in a place to play wrestler.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
So that was obviously gambling was in your personal life, but
yeah.
That transcended at all over into wrestling. Did you?
I think it did, and I just didn't realise. I think I had a massive chip on my shoulder, and I was a real arsehole.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of people.
Were you aware at the time that you were being an arsehole, or you looked back on and sort of?
I not realised at the time. I just thought, yeah, I'm just me, and I do feel arguments that I shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
And it was due to that reason. I just felt like I lost everything and I had nothing to kind of live for, go for.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
Because I remember you, Sax, messaging me saying that you were going to come up and spend some time with him. Would we go for some beers and that? And I thought, yeah, sound. We'll go for some beers with Tom and Sax. That'll be fine. Not knowing what was going on, and then I came over and yeah, just went yourself. And I know from first hand that you just weren't yourself, and something was going on. And obviously, you opened up to Sax and I, and we kept it kayfabe, didn't tell everyone because you asked us not to. But the issues that you're going through are pretty strong, and not trying to make excuses for you being a cunt to people or anything like that, but it's still it was a big deal. You know what I mean? So not everyone goes through that kind of pressure in life. So you've come out, like you say, you're 68 weeks gamble free, so 69 Monday. So that's a big deal, man. So fair play. I mean, you say you lost your fiance at the time. I mean, you're talking to her again, or have you moved on, or?
Well, we talk.
Yeah.
That's at the moment is all I'll say. Obviously, I would love to get back with her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to always hold hope.
Yeah.
She is the one love that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really deep. So yeah, she's the one love that I have.
Yeah.
One girl I always wanted to be with.
Yeah.
I know I made mistakes, and I know I've still got a lot of making up to do on that front of things.
Yeah.
But we shall see. But yeah.
It's a big bridge to burn, isn't it? To try and rebuild it, So
trusting more so than anything.
yeah.
I did lose, so getting that trust back is going to be.
Yeah. And what about in wrestling then? I mean, you obviously you messed up, with your fiance. I mean, anybody in wrestling that you got an open mic now, you could say anything to anybody if you got anything to say or anything to get off your chest.
I've got a few things probably. A few apologies. Sorry to first of all Steve Saxon for causing him a lot of issues over the course of so many years to start with. He's been a great friend. He helped me out, like you said. I was here at my lowest, sitting in his living room crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
Much over the course of like a week almost.
Yeah.
Every night till like 4 a.m. whatever. Want to make an apology to Keith Myers.
Alright.
And that is something which will probably bring up in a few moments. That certain people have said certain things to him which he's entitled to believe. I've not had a chance to say face to face, but I'd like to apologise that anything that I have said or I have done to him, and I apologise that wholeheartedly I didn't treat Keith as a friend. I still think he is a friend, or I still think I can get a friendship back with him, and hopefully we can have a sit down and talk one-on-one in the coming weeks of the future.
That'd be cool.
Keith's a good guy, isn't he?
He's a good guy,
He's got a heart of gold, but he's very old school, as everybody knows. And as you said about your fiance, it's the trust thing with Keith, and it is with a lot of people that you lose that trust, and particularly with any lies that were told as well. And he just finds it hard to be able to, to deal with you again, especially because at the time you weren't just friends, but he was also, you were booking him as well. He worked for Wrestle Midlands as well, and so he did get a bit sour. But I mean, seeing you sitting on my show, I mean, I remember the phone call. I knew for a while that something wasn't right. But knowing you as a character, I knew that you were never going to tell. I thought at the time you were never going to tell me the truth. I remember getting the phone call and you saying, "Look, I need to tell you," and you told me every detail about the gambling and about everything else that stemmed on from that. And you came up here to visit, and obviously me and Beef took you out for a few drinks and just sat and listened to you. Seeing you at your absolute rock bottom was horrible to see. I'd never ever thought I'd ever see you like that. You've always been this like cocky, confident, arrogant, to some extent, a bit of a dick, but we've always got on. We've always been friends. I think for those reasons, I quite like how quirky your attitude is towards life. But then to see you in the position you're in was horrible. And what was even more horrible, obviously, as the weeks and the months went on, and more problems were coming to the surface that were built up because of the gambling and because of all the lies that the cover-up stories that you had to come up with, and then slowly they all started to surface, and not being able to stand up and defend you because it was so sensitive at the time, so raw, was quite hard as well. Because obviously I understood, Beef understood, but not everybody understood. Yeah.
They're not friends still anymore, and that's something that they chose to believe in or go with, so I've let them be and let me be, so I'm perfectly happy.
Everybody makes mistakes,
Yep.
you know, and it doesn't matter, or it shouldn't matter how big or small that mistake is. Everybody makes mistakes in life, and I think to judge somebody long term on that is pretty shit, to be honest with you. Right, okay.
Sweet.
So stemming on from that again, so the personal issues. Okay, so we've covered the fact that you've had a gambling problem, and you're a recovering gambling addict. Still going to your weekly meetings.
Yes.
Still trying to get back to the love of your life.
Yes.
Back in a full-time job.
Yes.
Got your own home.
Yes.
Back in the wrestling business.
Question mark.
Steve Corino.
Hello.
You tried to rebuild your wrestling career, your own wrestling promotion,
Yes.
Wrestle Midlands. 'Cause obviously, it took a bit of a dip at the time for financial reasons, and obviously, your head was elsewhere. When you decided to make your big comeback, you informed the world that you were booking Steve Corino. You actually went and spoke to Steve Corino, and you actually booked him as far as he was concerned. But then, the closer you got to the actual date of the show, things were surfacing on Twitter where he was putting cryptic messages out, and I was hearing other things from different people, and then hearing different stories from you as well. This is very raw, and it's still something that's going on right now. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the Steve Corino incident?
Yeah, definitely. What happened was, as you say, booked Steve Corino, booked him to work Keith Myatt for that show, and Steve Corino and me was talking away, perfectly happy. Would like to come over to the UK. He was meant to be coming over, but whichever promotion decided not to. So Keith and me were talking, and Keith was like, "Why don't you just still get it for yourself and pimp him out?" He's probably the word let's use. And we give him different promotions. I was like, "Okay, cool." At the time, I was gambling, and at the time had money to do this. So I was like, "Oh, excellent. Pay for your flight, all visa. That won't be an issue. Won't have a problem." And as I said, as I'm gambling, as the time's going on, me and Steve was talking, I've got all his flight details, and I can honestly say, hand on heart, that I went to go and book his flight, put the money in my bank to go and book his flight, and in that moment, I went to a local bookies that was near me, and blew every penny of his flight money, and his visa money, and whatever else that I had at that time, and basically lied to him of a cover-up to not to make him know, and then part of the truth came out, and stories came out, and he doesn't trust me, which was perfectly fine. I personally will say that I am sorry to him. We never did meet him face to face. I would apologise to him. I'd expect a punch in the face, and he's entitled to that totally. It was some bad stuff that I was going through. I wasn't ever going to mention it to some stranger. At the end of the day, he was still a stranger.
Of course, yeah.
But I thought I was doing the best thing in my head, in my twisted head, that I was doing the best thing, and I clearly wasn't, and just wasn't honest with him. And I should have just said, "Look, I've got an issue. I can't get you on the show. Maybe we can sort it out another time." Instead, I just hid it till it's too late.
Yeah.
And completely locked in.
I mean, if you go on the Steve Corino website, even now, there's a wanted poster with your name, and you do look good on the poster, yeah.
So thank you, Steve, for that.
I mean, one thing I didn't. I mean, I understood why he did that. You know, he put it across that he was looking after the boys, that none of the boys should go and work for Wrestle Midlands because he put you down as a con man. I didn't like the fact that he put your phone number on there, and that you were getting phone calls from people, and I didn't like that fact. But knowing that you were coming onto the show, I emailed Steve Corino. No, I wanted to give, just as you got this platform for you to say your side, I wanted to him to have the same platform. So I sent an email and explained what BWP Encore, what we do here, and the fact that you were coming on the show, and asked if he had any comments or anything he wanted us to say to you. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read the email out, his response. Okay? I've got nothing to say to that guy until he sends me the US dollars that he owes me. Until then, he's just a piece of garbage that lied and got caught. If he sends me the money and apologises to the people he screwed over, i.e. my family, me, the fans, and the other two promoters that were bringing me in, etc., on a public forum, then it's over for me. He just needs to man up. So 2 years later, he's obviously still quite bitter about this. He's still saying that you own quite a lot of money there.
Yeah.
What's your stance on that?
Okay, regarding the money, I can understand. Unfortunately, I I'm still not in a position to even come close to doing anything of that nature. And I couldn't even comment and say when I would be closing to that nature, so I can't obviously just go, here, here's your $1,700 US, because I'm guessing that part of that money is for the other promotions that he's worked for. I'm not 99% sure it was the other promotions that he was going to work for at the time. I am sorry to IVW UK, which was Dan Edler, and to Pro Wrestling Live, which was Matt Powell, aka Mad Dog Max, for the stuff, obviously lying to them saying he was going to be on their show. They promoted it, they booked it, they booked their matches, and clearly I just screwed them over, and I apologise. To Steve, his family, again, apologise. I know that he was planning at the time to get married over here, and we was talking about it, to try and figure out if there was a way. I couldn't think at the time, I don't think there was even a way of doing it within that short time that it was mentioned. And again, to his fans, the fans of Wrestle Midlands, fans of the other promotions, again, I do let them down, and I totally understand, and again, just an apology that is deserved to every one of those.
Okay.
Got a tweet from Will Roberts on the Corino incident. He says, do you think the Corino incident has affected your stature in the British wrestling scene, and do you actually care?
I don't care.
Okay.
That's a start.
Okay. That's a start.
Yeah, I don't care because I don't think I had a stature.
Okay.
So,
You said yourself you worked for quite a few promotions, and things like that. So,
worked for it, but
has it cost you jobs? Has it?
I don't think so. Or not that I'm aware. I was probably on a downwards turn anyway, whereas I wasn't really interested. I wasn't out there looking for bookings. It probably upset people, and people got their opinions of me. And again, that's something I don't really care about. I'm not one for people caring what their opinion is of me. And I'm not here to still be nice. I'm feeling good at the minute, and I'm still going to be honest and open. If people don't like it, then I can't do nothing about that.
No.
But I don't think it's cost me any jobs or anything of that nature. And like I say, I don't have a wrestling career again, quote unquote. It's a part-time hobby.
Yeah.
It's a fun hobby. And that's all I've ever treated it as, anyways.
Okay.
Again, from Will Roberts, who on Twitter sent in another message. Again, focusing on the problems that you've had over the past 12, 18 months, he's asked, will your newfound attitude from the past 12 months worth of troubles that you've had transcend into your in-ring persona?
Well, at the moment, there is no in-ring persona.
I mean, we know that you work, although you've not done a lot of BWP, you work for like the likes of SWA.
Yeah.
You still work the LGT gimmick down there as well. Since you took that few months out and then started working for SWA a few months ago, and you got put straight into an angle there from what I've been seeing on Facebook and what have you, did you change as a character? Did you change as a performer? Did your attitude change at all?
I don't think the character of LGT changed at all. I think I did more so backstage.
What do you mean? Elaborate on that.
Okay, backstage I was, like I say, more of a, as Dylan mentioned earlier, was a arrogant cunt, I think was the word that you used.
Did I say that word?
I think you've used it. So
Oh, I don't like using that word, but I might have done.
You did actually. I was quite
Sorry.
taken back by that, Beef.
Sorry, Tom.
what are you saying sorry to me? Don't have to apologise to me.
But, no, he's still a cunt.
He likes it.
He's still a
He
cunt.
gets off on it.
Yeah, I'll do right now.
Thomas.
But no, I don't. I feel that I've been a bit more withdrawn. I still I just get my stuff on and go and do a match.
But you said just a second ago that you're someone who says it speaks his mind and doesn't give a shit, and now you're saying that you're.
Well, I do still speak my mind, but that's when I get asked a question.
All right.
So
Okay.
you
Okay.
jumping
Okay.
up and going, no, that's wrong. No,
Right.
this is wrong. I know I've been on BWP shows and completely wrote a different card when he's giving the announcement of who's on what matches because I thought it was wrong. I've not done that. I will just smile, nod. If I don't believe it's something that is right, I'll express my opinion.
Right. Okay.
But other than that, I'm just me.
That's
But
fair
I don't
enough.
think the character LGT changed. I still think he's an arrogant gay lord. Is what we call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving away from the Corino thing, I think we've touched on everything
think
we
so,
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
there. I can see you getting a bit uncomfortable there now. So
The sweat is dripping off.
the sweat, yes, it's dropping off your nose. We're going to go back to BWP recent times now. things we've got coming up. We've got this Summer Rumble coming up, the next show, BWP. Like Steve mentioned before, you had like maybe a dozen wrestlers back in the day, whereas now there's like so many, fantastic lads on the card. There's a massive Rumble coming up. Have you got any tips? Who's going to win? Anything you want to see, or anything in the past Rumbles that you've been involved in that you want to see happen again?
Ooh, good question. I liked last year's. I watched it online. I thought D-Mac did a great 30-second exit. If anyone hasn't noticed, please watch it.
Oh, poor dude.
Yeah.
It was only 1 foot. About 6 foot away from the ring, but it was only 1 foot.
So now I do believe that staying in the ring is probably a good start.
Yeah.
Not being thrown over the top rope if you try and hold on to it.
In fairness, the referee didn't see it.
No,
If the referee doesn't see it, as you know, working the heel roll, then it doesn't count, does it?
No, of course not. It doesn't count. Nothing counts. I do feel like surprises was really good, especially like seeing or watching like Shauna Hannah Davis come back.
Yeah.
The immortal Yidster.
Yeah.
Kicking up the arse. One of the but that's cool. But now I do feel, and I'll probably say for my pick, I am going to go with my former partner. It's got to be D-Mac.
Yeah, I mean, he's picked a good number. He was
He was in the
Corners on a pole.
4 corners on a pole entry number gimmick match.
So-
It was actually beef came
No,
up.
hold on. This is my idea, right? But it was completely different to what happened. My idea was to have an envelope with a number inside on a pole, so you can't see what the number
We had
is.
this conversation with
I know, but people listening don't know what's going on. Well,
People watching on the night didn't know what was going on either.
because what actually happened was numbers on a piece of paper were stuck to the pole, so you knew.
who number 30
Well, of
Yeah,
course so.
who's number 30?
That's why it worked better though, because
No,
4 guys in the ring with 4
okay,
envelopes.
nah.
Why wouldn't they all just go, okay, well you have that one, I'll have this one, I'll have that one, you have that one. If you could actually see, well that's
Right.
number 1, that's number 30.
That's being
I want number
pedantic.
30.
That's being pedantic. If that's your theory, then why would I dress in spandex to go and wrestle a man?
Because that's
why
your
wouldn't I just
thing.
go out there with a baseball bat and smash his face in?
It's nothing like that, Beef.
It's being pedantic, isn't it? You're
It's not
being pedantic.
Not at all.
It would. It would have been better. Yeah.
Who in their right mind, even TNA don't do stuff like
Well, I
that.
think next year, we've already spoke about this, that we will do it slightly different next year, where we'll have like 3 envelopes with numbers.
Inside.
Well, yeah, with 3 envelopes with numbers in what you can't see, and
Right.
then the 4th one.
Oh, that's
there's
a good
something where
idea.
You just don't get entered into the rumble,
That's a
or
good
there's some
idea.
sort of
Good idea.
booby prize
Well
in there
done,
or
Steve.
something.
Gonna be numbers on the front of them.
I think it worked. I think,
didn't-
I think
no,
it worked because nobody wants number 1, so everyone's going to go straight away for number 30, and
Yeah,
it
but
proved that Sexy Kev got number 30 first, and then the automatic went for number 20, then 10, and then Cyanide was left with number 1.
No. As a working standpoint, if you're 4 guys in the ring all going for 1 pole, it just doesn't make any. Especially Cyanide and Dean, the big guys. You know what I mean? You can't work around things like that. It was better just to have the idea that it was originally
Okay,
supposed to
fuck
be.
off! It's not a booking meeting, is it? Read a fucking tweet.
Dean. He's picked. What number did he pick? 30.
Number 10.
Number 10. That's a pretty good number.
It is a good number. Last year he entered number 2 with Zach Gibson number 1.
Well,
And Dean actually did quite well. He went through to, I think it's like the final 6 or 8 or something like that. He was in there. And he had the most eliminations as well.
I wish him luck and hope he gets it. Obviously, he can move on from there for the rest of the summer period.
Yeah, Dean deserves a shot. You know, he does. He's worked hard over the past 5 years of us.
He has won the BWP.
He has. This is something that a lot of people don't even know, you know, and we dust over. That's right, yeah, in
The
Denby.
shortest time ever in BWP history, I think it was 3 minutes 46 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, something daft like that, yeah.
I've held it less than El Generico. That's my claim to fame.
I mean, we spoke about Dean quite a fair bit here. The other guys in that match, in that stupid 4-corner match, obviously Cyanide, Sexy Kev.
Poles weren't even in the corners. That's how stupid it was.
Okay.
In the centre of
The
the ring.
4-sided piece of paper on a pole match. Sexy. I want to talk about Sexy Kev. Sexy Kev is someone who's trained in a school in Manchester, GPW. Someone I've known for quite a long time, and a quality guy. Really, really, really nice guy. Eager to learn and things like that. Obviously you don't have much, understanding of Sexy Kev. You're not known him as long as I have. But what's your
His name's Kev.
What's your take on him?
I think he seems like a good guy. I've only briefly said hello and goodbyes to him, shook hands.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of his matches, obviously at the BWP shows.
Yeah.
Does seem like he's young guy that's eager to learn and seems like he's getting on and getting on with business at the minute. So just good luck to him, and I hope he obviously knows he's in a great promotion at the minute for BWP to obviously learn and build up his character.
And obviously he's in a great position as well. He obviously took the number 13 entrance, so last man in there, freshest man in there, and especially somebody that's so young, so keen, and physically really impressive as well. He has got a sexy body. That's a housewife's favourite.
That's a difficult gimmick. That imagine being sexy as your gimmick. You've got to. That's commitment. That is commitment. That's commitment, that isn't it? To just cut.
Sexy LGBT looking like Mr. Block. I'm a little bit like the Blue Meanie.
Yeah. Did you ever know a guy called Death Proof Jason Genesis? This is random, but just talking about like having a difficult gimmick. His gimmick was death proof. So his gimmick was he nearly died in every match. He had to do something stupid in every single match, and I thought that was a difficult gimmick. But
it's like the Tim White of WWE.
I remember I was on a charity show in Nottingham Way, I think it was, somewhere, and he actually brought his own table and he put himself from the top rope through a table on a non-paid job on a charity show, because it was a gimmick. It was death proof. But Sexy Kev, it's you can't get tables at break.
You may actually die.
Yeah, so going back to Sexy Kev and the likes of the Tatums have messaged in wanting to know who's going to be the next breakout star in BWP.
Ooh, that's a very good question. Breakout star? I'm going to put my money on the Japanese sensation fighter.
Good call.
Yeah.
Totally. Every match I've seen him, he's got better and better.
Yeah.
He's got a mask, which always helps for kids, especially.
Yeah.
He should start selling them, I personally think.
Yeah.
We actually are. They'll be available on www.britanniawrestling.co.uk by the time that this interview's gone live.
Cheap plug there. Cheap plug, everyone.
Cheap.
So yeah, totally. Pyro's one to look out for. I don't know if you class him as an upstarter, but Mark Morgan's still somebody to look out for. He's still young, obviously doing great with the pack.
Actually, I could just stop you there very quickly. We actually had a tweet from Geraint Griffiths about the pack, just asking what you actually think about them. What's your thoughts on the pack? Obviously, Mark Morgan's in there. You just praised him.
Yeah.
It's headed by the babyface Pitbull, who's shit apparently.
According to 2010 me.
I love Pitbull.
Your best mate Keith is in it, and Lorna. What's your take on that? And of course Jesus, Kieran McConnell, sorry, yeah.
God bless you.
Ooh, I like the pack. I think they're...
Have you seen a lot of the pack?
I've not seen a lot of them, but I like their ideas and obviously what they're doing. They're gonna, obviously, as long as they stay together, and they will go from strength to strength.
Do you think Mark Morgan being a part of the pack under the influence of babyface Pitbull will help really push his career?
Hinder him totally.
Okay.
It's all about Pitbull.
Of course, this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Anytime, any match, it's all about the Pitbull.
Pew pew.
But no, it will obviously hinder him. I think he does need to break away as cleanly and as nicely as possible. But I do feel if he leaves the pack, he's going to be in for all the trouble, and he's going to have a few people to deal with to move on to the next stage.
He does seem to. Sometimes it seems as if he's been left out, even though that he's always involved. He's always when it comes down to that beat. I remember back at Lethal Intentions at the end of the summer season last year, during the Zach Gibson, when Zach cashed in the Money in the Bank against Pitbull inside the cage. It was Mark Morgan that threw himself straight in there after Zach, to help the pack, to help Pitbull out. But I mean, you look at the successes of the pack. I mean, Pitbull's the current champion. He was champion last summer as part of the pack. Kieran and Keith have had the longest reign as tag team champions, only recently losing them. But Mark Morgan hasn't been in that many title shots. The only 2 title shots he had, Pitbull screwed him out of one, and then he took the other title shot off him and sent him home packing.
He is the El Bandito.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, and that's massive, of course, yeah.
He did, yeah. Fair play to Morgan, though. I mean, although Pitbull, like you're saying, is holding him down, but I've been at the programme with Morgan for the past few months, 6 months, 7 months, something like that. And he's just when we first got together, he's a completely different guy now than when we first worked the first match. He's come on so much. He's definitely one to keep an eye out for. I know I'd like that the term's thrown around quite a lot, one to watch, but he is, he's a lot better than what I think than what he thinks he is.
We're you the one to watch?
Pardon?
Haven't you been to one?
I have been on to watch. Yeah, FSM. Yeah, I've been in the magazine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You made a magazine?
I was in a magazine. Yeah, it was a FSM magazine. I think it was issue 98.
Have you still got a copy of that?
I have. It's.
I've got a signed copy as well.
He's got a signed copy. Yeah.
I have not even.
I get my shit on that interview as well.
You definitely get his shit in. Yeah.
Definitely get his shit.
There's one more pack member, obviously, Lana.
Lana.
Very impressive and fit. Sorry, T-Bone. So yeah,
Thomas.
she is very, very impressive.
Yeah, she is good.
Work-wise,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
obviously seen her again from something, and obviously she's coming on as well, so you never know. Obviously, maybe her and Morgan make the split one day.
Maybe, you never know. Lorna, I'm really impressed with Lorna. I'm not a fan of female wrestling at all, and I think anybody that knows me knows this. I find it boring.
There is a stigma tied to women wrestling, though, isn't there?
Of course,
Where
I mean, most of it's terrible. It is terrible, and
yeah.
it's degrading to what it says. I suppose it's completely sexist, but it's degrading for me to watch compared to what the blokes do. You know, it's terrible.
Totally degrading,
But
especially when you've got your hand in your pocket. Totally.
Right,
Lorna and the other female that works quite a bit for us now, Anna Pat, I really enjoy watching their matches.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I think they both
It's-
got
it is
natural
yeah,
talent.
It's women like those, and people like April Davids, and like that. This sort of generation of women that are coming through that are just like kick-ass, wrestlers. They're not like Playboy bunnies. You know what I mean? They're actually wrestlers who want to go there and wrestle.
Well, I read something on one of the social networks just a few days ago about that the WWE don't go out there looking for female wrestlers to go and employ models and teach them to be wrestlers because, how often do you see an unattractive female wrestler in WWE? But does that matter if they can actually wrestle? For me, it doesn't. I'd book them on the wrestling skills, not on how they look.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I agree with that as well.
I'd rather watch a couple of Munters have a wrestling match than watch two.
You do that with the men, so I don't see why you can't do it with the women.
Yeah, there's plenty of Munter men out there.
Exactly.
You for one.
Ditto.
Thank you.
So, World Cup. You've been watching it.
Yes.
Big football fan?
Yes.
Who'd you follow?
It's fake.
England.
No, in general. Club.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. Okay.
Yes. For my sins since I was a child and was forced upon by my parents. But yeah, Aston Villa fans. So I've not had really anything to cheer about in probably the last 20 years.
Right. Okay. Geraint Griffiths has asked who's going to win the World Cup.
Ooh. Personally, I think Argentina will win the World Cup. I think South American team will win the World Cup due to the fact that it's in a South American country and no European team have ever won it in a South American country. So my pick's Argentina and they've got one of the best player in the world.
Have you put a bet on that?
And please, if anyone listens to this, I have not put a bet on anything.
No, I could vouch for that. He hasn't put a bet on it. Okay, moving on. So let's cover some. We've actually I think of all the interviews we've actually done, we've had more tweets and Facebook messages for you than anybody else.
Yes.
So let's just quickly go through the list here. I think we've covered most things. A lot of questions were obviously aimed around the problems that you've had and Steve Corino and Dean McManus and what have you. But one question, if you could wrestle, again from Geraint Griffiths, Big G, if you could wrestle anybody dead or alive, who would it be? And why?
It would have to be Bret Hart.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Literally, he was my idol as a kid. He was the wrestler that I grew up idolising. And when was it? Maybe about 3-4 years ago when I met him and pretty much cried in front of him because I met my idol. And I'm not ashamed.
Did he cry?
I wish he did. I feel so much better.
But that's awkward.
Yeah, literally, especially when I was holding onto his legs. But no, he was my idol. He was the person that, growing up, I wanted to see, be. Had pink and black glasses, wore pink and black. Pink was my favourite colour then when I was a kid. I didn't care what anyone said because Bret Hart had it. And still to this day, he is my ultimate, as in wrestler.
So I say you're glad to see him back in WWE and on good terms and making appearances.
He's aged a bit now. I don't think he can do as much things as he
No.
used to be able to. But I'd still gladly cry in front of him now if I still see him in the next couple of years. So.
Okay, good.
Good answer. Bret Hart's my favourite as well.
No, see, I was more of a Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels
because
fan
you're a
personally.
prick. Yeah, sure. Nah,
Yeah.
Shawn was a dick.
He
Yeah.
used to have long hair as well and looked a bit gay.
What, when I was a kid?
But
I didn't have long hair, thank you.
I'm pretty sure you've had long hair.
Not when I was a kid.
Not when you
But pretty gay though.
there you
Okay, on to the tweets again. MJ Tatum, Michael Tatum, again, one of the regular BWP faithful. Team Pitbull or Team Gallagher?
Let's just...
Yeah, please inform me.
Yeah.
I'm not seen as much.
So, basically, El Bandito, where Morgan beat me. Pitbull was having a match with Pyro, was it? Or who was Pitbull? Was it with me? It was after my match.
Pitbull.
That's right. Yeah. After my
semi-final.
match, I left the ring, and one of the punters in the audience, who happened to be Denby's hardest man. He's a legitimate boxer, Welsh and British boxing champion, Owen Gallagher. He was getting in Pitbull's face as all the other punters do, and for some reason Pitbull took a shine into to Mr. Gallagher and got up in his face, and it got a bit heated, and all the locker room emptied, and grabbed Pitbull and pulled him to the back.
I've not seen this. So.
It's now escalated to a point now where Pitbull and Gallagher are actually signing or have signed for a match together.
Yep, September the 27th, Denby Town Hall. I think the first time in British wrestling history.
Yeah.
A wrestling champion, the boxing champion, actually going to step inside the BWP ring, inside a 15-foot steel cage, and knock shit out of each other.
That's going to be pretty cool.
It's going to be pretty sweet. I mean, did you see Owen at the?
I did see them at the last show.
He was there today at the carnival. Actually, he was with his twin brother. They did the tug of war.
You should have seen him because his team beat your team.
Wasn't my team.
Well, you were in there.
Did tug of war. Yeah.
Tug of war, which is
so
terrible.
Team Gallagher versus Team Russon.
It wasn't my fault.
All right.
Snitsky's just entered the room,
Fell over to start with.
and then Chris Gordon fell over, and
Chris
then
Gordon fell over. My boots had no grip on, and neither did any of the other wrestlers.
if you
it was a
rewind
wardrobe.
12
It
months
was a
on
wardrobe
Facebook,
malfunction.
that was all the statuses. My boots didn't have grip on there. He fell over. It wasn't my fault.
I'm sticking to their statuses from last year now, so 12 months on, that's going to be mine in about 10 15 minutes. So it will be a case of had no grip. We can take boxers and just generic public wrestlers, good grief.
So are you going on that basis? Then you're going to go with Team Pitbull to win this?
Yeah, I'm going to go Pitbull.
Bear in mind, this is a current Welsh and British boxing champion in his hometown, in his home venue where he holds.
Welsh for a start.
Okay.
So,
Steady on, pal.
sorry.
Don't forget where you are.
Where am I?
You're in Wales.
Just.
Welcome to God's country. The sun is shining. It's a lovely day.
It is a lovely day, but
Yeah.
it's Wales. I was going to say, you haven't really got a good football team.
Right. Okay.
You haven't really
But this isn't a football match, is it? It's a
you haven't really got.
hybrid MMA style match.
So we go. Well, he is a good boxer.
Is he really?
Well, he's a champion.
Yeah, he is.
He's a champion. Yeah. Of course, he's really a good
I could
boxer.
be a boxing champion probably. Just
Oh, come on, Tom.
totally.
So you're going Team Pitbull.
Team football.
You think he'll get the job done?
I think he's got too much in his arsenal.
You did see the knockout punch, by the way, from the last show.
I did see the knockout punch.
Knocked Pitbull on.
One punch.
But he
one
just
punch.
got in the ring and decided to do what he wants. If I'd have been there and that had been me, I'd have just, before he even got up, I'd have kicked him in the teeth straight away.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. So Team Pitbull, just to clarify.
Team Pitbull.
Okay.
Go Pitbull.
So another message now from moving on from Gallagher and Pitbull, from Big G again, Geraint Griffiths, G Unit. He wants to know G Unit. I call him G because I keep forgetting his name in the ring. His name's Max, but I keep shouting Geraint. Who would you choose?
Kayfabe.
Why is he not here?
He's at his Alcoholics Anonymous meeting or something like that. I don't know.
I know I heard the last interview that he did.
That was pretty bad. No, Max will be back for the next BWP Encore radio. He just couldn't make this evening, unfortunately.
Geraint.
Max
Yeah,
Geraint
G-
Davis,
G-
friend of David.
That's it, David's mate, yeah.
Where's David?
He's with Geraint at Alcoholics Anonymous.
Right,
He can't drive, can he? Because he's pissed all the time, so David drives him.
Of course, yes. That David. Who, David?
Get out, I think.
Oh yeah, I like the finish.
That's
Yes.
right. Oh, please explain this finish. Please explain.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay, finish was a code breaker, finish. And it took him 5 times to finish code breakers on there. Every time he beat me, I then just shouted from the top of my lungs, and another one. Kept kicking me.
I don't know who's more knackered after the end of that. You or him?
He looked pissed off.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
Angry about all of this, and again, that's something that
Well, he complained after the opening move of the match where you just slapped him across the face, and he walked over, because I was refereeing that match, he walked over to me and said, can you tell him to stop being so stiff? And I walked over to Tom and told Tom, and he just laughed at me.
And to be fair, I thought he was joking, because if that would have been the case, during the match, I would have just given him a real good shot, just that's and that was really liked.
Do you enjoy working with Max?
I did. I enjoyed working all day today. It's actually been really good fun, really good laugh. Obviously, some new people that I've not worked on BWP, some rookies, some trainees. Everyone was sound, everyone was really nice.
It's been a great day, Taz. I mean, the Denby crowd's always my favourite crowd. I know our home venue is Preston in Frith Beach Arena, but we go back to Denby twice a year for the Al Bandito, and then obviously this September the Denby Town Hall Brawl, which is more of our hardcore night, if you like.
I don't think I've been to a Denby Town Hall Brawl ever, because I think I've missed them for one reason or I've been on holiday or working, or obviously not wrestling, or that nature. I think I was meant to have once tagged with you, if this is a spoiler.
Well, this is one thing that we've always said, isn't it? You know, all the years that we've worked together, we've never actually worked against each other. LGT and Steve Saxon, all the style or whatever, never worked. We were in a faction together.
We was in a faction, we never really...
Word Association, with the Weird Rudy Web. Me, you and...
Word Association. That's like a CITV programme.
Marcus King. Marcus King. Say that again.
It's like a CITV programme, Word Association. So welcome to Word Association.
It was terrible. It was terrible faction, wasn't it, really? But, it made no sense. No reason.
There was no reason.
No, at all.
We've never
We'd never...
done anything.
We worked at one tag match together, or an 8-man tag match together in Wrexham.
I'm glad you remember that.
That was terrible. It was the Weird Association
He
against
gets all this shit in all times.
Seb Winters, some guy in pink, and another...
Who is this guy in
face.
pink?
I don't know.
You just find out.
Can anyone Google this and find out, please?
Guy in pink, BWP, Google it.
Yeah.
Don't type in paedophile.
Because obviously it's irrelevant to this, so you won't find him.
So going back to G Unit, who would you choose to have your comeback match with, singles or tag?
Ooh, can I pick both?
Yeah.
Singles.
Fire away. I mean, you're talking as much as there's anyway. You just keep them going.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Tag match. I would have to obviously tag with Dean, and we would have to take on the tag team champions.
Okay.
And I'm not sure who the tag team champions
At the moment,
are.
the British Lions, Dangerous Damon Lee and
DDL
Dave Del Vecchio.
That would be a given. We'd get the tag belts back.
Would you?
Straight away.
Okay, yeah.
Easy.
What?
Not seen them.
Dave Del Vecchio holds the rookie title as well at the moment. He's the only guy to, other than CJ Banks on the Babyface Pitbull, which was many years ago now, to hold actually 2 straps. He's the only guy ever to win 2 straps in one night at Champions Ball. And obviously Damon Lee's credentials just speak for himself anyway.
But no, I think me and Dean would have the advantage. They're obviously still just a new team, from what I can gather. We've still got a few things up our sleeve, and I think we can get the job done if we had a tag match.
Yeah, but you say that, as a new team, you and Dean won the straps pretty much straight away.
Totally.
British Lions, as a new team, won the straps straight away, so why have you got the advantage over them?
Just the experience. Obviously, they've got Dave Del Vecchio, who's obviously a rookie, as you just
Of course, yeah.
rookie champion.
Yep.
He's under the tutelage of Dangerous Damien Lee. We obviously have the upper hand. We've got a bit more experience. We've been there, done it. We would get the job done clearly.
Yeah.
There'd be no question about that. And singles match, I think there's 2 people I'd like to work at BWP again in the future. One, unfortunately, is the person opposite me, which is the Beef.
Ah.
You say again, have you 2 worked each other?
Yeah. We
At
did the
BWP?
one in Mid Wales where I blew my knee out. Do you remember that one?
Yes, and Craven Arms.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was Dylan Thomas that night.
Dylan Thomas,
Remember?
Very Welsh.
Wasn't-
Mr. Dylan Thomas,
Mr.
probably.
Dylan Thomas, yeah.
And Mr. Lord Graham Thomas.
That's right, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
We all stayed in my house the night before, and then
That's right.
just turned up to watch a show, and we ended up wrestling each other. And I thought it was just a nice little simple match, but I think that would be
Yeah.
again something that would be really interesting. And the other person would be, if he ever made a return, would have to be the infamous Tommy Gunn from our first ever show.
Yeah, you and Tommy have had a lot of matches together over the years, not just the BWP promotions all over Britain. And every time I've seen you at BWP, it's always been a stellar match, great match. I always remember the hardcore, the street fight match you had at Preston for Beach Arena. We ended up going down the bowling alleys and on top of the pool table, off the stage and through
railings, stuff that you do as a normal Saturday evening.
Yeah.
So no, that would be the 2 that I'd like to work. Obviously, there's hundreds or thousands of other people that I'd like to work, and obviously if I ever did come back to BWP, which obviously is still a question mark, then those are the people I'd like to get involved with. Like I say, Tom's injured at this moment.
Yeah.
He's been out for a while. Obviously Dylan's knocking around there. He's gone from champion to opening match. Sorry, mate.
No, it's fine.
No, it's okay. Curtain jerking for everyone.
Well, yeah, I like to.
One of the most important matches on any card is the opening match in my eyes.
Yeah.
Opening match, main event.
Dylan, he's a main eventer.
Absolutely, and that's why he doesn't always need to be in the main event.
No, totally agree. But there is obviously people on the roster that I'd like to have matches that have never worked to cyanide for obviously being a big man and the stuff he can do for a big man.
Yeah.
And obviously we've had our past issues, so maybe that could be interesting to it.
You've had issues with cyanide as well.
Yeah, well, I think I just upset him at the time, but I truthfully can't remember what I said and did. But again, that's something that we got over. We've spoken about differences and everything. So again,
So given all the, I mean, given the roster members that we have at the moment, and it seems like you've got issues with quite a lot of them, if not all of them, would you quite happily come back to BWP? I mean, I'm saying this now as Steve Saxon. I mean, yes, okay, it's my firm, we know this, but I'm not the booker anymore. I stepped away from that a long time ago, and obviously DJ King, Mike Holland, he's head booker. Well, I mean, you got issues, but I say, you know, you are friends now. But I mean, there's got to be a reason why Mike's never really put your name forward over the past 12 months or so, and why you've never really approached me about coming back to BWP. Obviously, I understood why you left, but that's obviously still going through these issues, even though they're getting better for you. But you've not approached me once about coming back to BWP or Mike.
No, because that's not my job. I'm not here to fish out for work. If you want me back on, you'll ask me. At the end of the day, I'm not going to sit around and go, oh, why couldn't they not going to ask me or anything like that. I'm not going to be bothered. We're still friends, and I'm always going to be friends first. And
absolutely, yep.
Obviously,
yep.
Anything that goes, and if you want me back on, you know my Facebook, you know my number, anything, drop me a text, whatever. So does Mike. If they ever want me back on the show, I would love, being truthful, to have one more like proper run with BWP. Not saying to go for any championships, because I could probably get there.
Right, that's on record now.
Yeah, that's on
okay.
record, totally. I would like to win the rookie belt though.
This has always been a thing about Tom, is he's always wanted to win like what we call like the big three, I suppose, is all three championships. Nobody's ever done that.
I'm planning still to eventually.
Yeah.
One day, I don't know how. I'm going to have to figure out a way.
Do you still see that Dr. X?
Dr. X does turn up every now and again.
Does he?
Has
He's a ballad as well.
Who's Dr. X?
It's just generic wrestler number 4 or something like that with a mask on. No shoes.
No shoes.
Alright.
Covered in just all clothes so you can't actually see who he is or what he is.
Never heard
It's
of
a
him.
bit of a fat mess to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. X, if you're listening.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
So, but you quite happily come back to the BWP,
Yeah.
given that most of the roster don't get on with you, and
Well, it's not a case of they don't, like I say, all hatches have been burned as far as I'm concerned. Everyone I'm cordial to everybody, speak to everybody. Right, I get asked. If I don't, no hardship. But like I say, it is something that I would like to at least get one more run in BWP in the future.
okay.
Awesome. I think that's pretty much it.
Finished it now.
So, I mean, yeah.
Well, is there anything that you want to say? And we've asked you a lot of questions, a lot of personal questions, and thank you. You've been very open and very, well, hopefully, you've been honest. Hopefully, we can start building some bridges now. You know, not just with BWP, but with some of the guys that you've mentioned and apologised to. Is there anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to throw in at the end? And
No, just obviously I've enjoyed every moment that I've ever been on any BWP show, from, like I said, the first show to the last show when I tagged with Dean, and we lost the tag belt to the Blackpool Blondes in the cage match. It was just something I'd like to do. I managed to politic my way into a cage match somehow on that night as well.
it was a nice way to send you out there. Obviously, not everybody knew what was going on.
No.
Not everybody knew it was going to be your last match. I did. Beef did. A couple of select others backstage did. And at the end of that match, I remember having my hand on the audio jack ready to pull the microphone plug because you asked for the mic. And whenever LGT asks for the mic, I worry, especially when it's a family show. So you grabbed that microphone inside the steel cage, and even Dean looked as if he didn't really know what was going to be said or what was going on.
I didn't, to be fair, I just asked Max, the referee, for the mic. He got me the mic, and I, hand on heart, did not know what I was going to say.
You opened up, you were honest, and in a split second, the audience went from just booing you and the normal Gaylord chants to complete silence to hear what you wanted to tell them, and then to give you a standing ovation as you left the ring. It was really nice to witness. It shows that the audience, they get it. They get the product. They get that you are a character out there, and out there you're an absolute dickhead, and nobody likes you. But when you actually opened up, and it was so sincere that they stood and applauded you, and they actually heckled when you said that you're going to take time away from BWP. So it shows that the BWP faithful do actually love LGT. So not everybody hates you, mate. Chin up.
I think we have actually got this footage, the sound of the.
Yeah, we actually have. Yeah, so let's just listen to Lord Graham Thomas's farewell speech from Champions Bowl 2013.
It's a whatever back is more likely to say this. So tough. Some of you may not know that tonight probably we're going to be my last match with BWP for quite some time. I want to say, and I'm going to be nice for a change, a big thank you to the big man himself, Steve Saxon, his family, Kevin, the tag team partner, all the boys here, whether you like me or you don't. I want to thank you. I've been here from the start, a great time, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you, good night.
And there you have it.
It's nice.
It was nice.
It was something that was just thought of on the moment, spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Giving me a microphone is really dangerous.
Yeah.
But I was just as honest as possible.
Yeah.
I think everybody picks up on that, backstage and out front, all the fans and superstars alike and the crew members, and it was nice, and I kind of felt a bit guilty that I was stood there with my hand on the audio ready to pull the plug when you thank
clever.
me and my family personally. Yeah,
It's not mean, it's clever.
It's good business.
It's smart.
So yeah, it did mean a lot, and obviously it meant a lot more for the likes of me and Beef and the others that knew, because we knew why you were stepping away from the business and how hard it was for you to step away from the business back then. And so yeah, it would be nice to see LGT back on. It was nice to see you working the carnival today. The carnival's always great fun. No problem. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm a terrible referee.
You are shocking.
I am shocking.
I saw that.
I can't help it. I can't help it. You crack me up, Tom. You crack me up. So, we did high five a couple of times, and I put my hand down your trunks, and you were touching me up quite a bit. We nearly kissed at one point.
That's happened before, hasn't it? Not Sax, but I think you actually kissed Keith at one point. Did you not? In a rumble in Buckley.
Yes.
Or Pennaford was it?
Pennaford.
In a rumble.
Yeah. You went and grabbed him in the corner, shouting at him, and then you kissed him in the corner.
That's on YouTube somewhere.
It is, because if you remember, we actually slowed it down and put nice romantic music in there.
Was it Titanic music or something like that? My heart will go on. And you wonder why people call Gaylord? I don't know. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Fantastic.
But also check out Infinite Promotion as well. Really like those guys.
Yeah?
Infinite Promotion. Pro Wrestling for You are good as well.
Oh, God.
It starts. Those bridges that you were just building. Gone.
No.
You fucked it, lad.
Right, start the generator. Quick.
I'm really sorry. I really do like you. You will get booked on my shows when I decide to run a game.
Why is Gibson a cunt? Oh, come on. You can't just... He wasn't, was he?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? It's hard to tell if he's joking or being truthful.
Why are your fingers crossed for?
What do you think about Infinite? We've been to Infinite shows together before. Yeah, me too. Best in England, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
I'll probably agree with you on that one because I've obviously not seen enough of other shows. But no, what they're doing for there and the talent they've got on the shows, and they're obviously getting more and more people at each show. They're doing a great job. Obviously, Kieran and Zach should both be really proud of themselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very proud of them. I mean, they just, like us, we don't just put on a wrestling show. It's the full product for them. The production values to put into it, the thought they put into like some of the little things, little details. And I love going to watch Infinite. One of my favourite. Well, They are my favourite, other than BWP, they're my favourite promotion to watch. Oh, you should definitely go to the next show. I have no idea. Beef, you get booked on the Infinite shows. When's the next one?
I think the next one, I have to look at the calendar. If you go onto Infinite Wrestling on Facebook,
we can
you
find out. You know, Infinite are all over the place at the moment. Yeah. See, I thought the same thing. You know, not like you, where you get rushed into hospital the night after the awards bash.
I got rushed into hospital. I rushed myself into hospital. This is how hardcore I am. Oh, fucking hell, that's too much.
There you go. And I really probably should have said that.
I really want to get back with my ex-fiance.
Warts and all.
Someone was slapped during sex, or I'll say after sex, and you got into the car, and you go to the hospital, and found out my appendix had actually burst.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, I've got a bad sort of car wrestle for a few weeks.
Right, here's me thinking that I had a stomach ache, and in fact my appendix were about to explode. That's how hardcore I am. I thought I had a tummy bug. I wasn't close and far off.
I was pretty gone to the...
Yeah, but we had a Jaeger bombs.
What night was it? What awards bash was it? Was it last year? The year before?
Year before.
2012,
You
yeah?
didn't come
No, I didn't know. Not that
my gambling addiction and managed to buy around everybody.
I remember that, yeah, that's the only reason you got over that night. He bought me a drink, he's fucking fine now. He was right, Pitbull is shit.
Random thought. Wasn't that the night that Juice got off with Chrissy?
Oh, that's worse than saying G-Man, man.
Oh, shit! Oh, G-Man.
From GPW? Yeah, that's it, yeah. Suplexing
That's right, yeah, belly to belly. Yeah, we got kicked out because it's time to go, and Kieran said in his Irish accent that's a gimmick accent, but he brought his gimmick in. He was like, "Fuck this!" Runs over to the Christmas tree and gives it a belly to belly suplex. Bouncer says, "You're going now, mate," and Kieran says, "Okay." No.
Car park at
No.
the beach.
You slept in his car with someone.
Chrissy.
No. They were up all night. And I slept. Well, in fact, I stayed in my car whilst Pitbull snored the fuck out of the windows in the back. I couldn't sleep. You're a wanker, aren't you? Ah.
I thought he was going to say Hallam then. Him and CJ just tag teaming. High five!
Who obviously is known as being a homosexual.
Good, yeah.
I love Gordon's bit.
Gordon's gay?
Oh, okay. No, definitely not.
No, he's just happy.
Happy?
Yeah, happy, yeah.
Okay, that's fine then.
He's happy.
Gordon is ace.
And yeah, he didn't try and help me once, which I felt really upset about.
Yeah, gutted for you, man. Yeah, you pay for a hotel room for fuck's sake. Jesus. You big spoon?
No, I'll have to be a little spoon.
Okay.
Right, we have completely moved off topic, and all topics I think are covered now, Tom. It's been my favourite interview so far. Thank you very much for coming on. It's really good to see you again. It's good to see you back in the ring today. As you said, we may see you in the BWP ring somewhere down the line. I don't do the booking anymore. If you want to be booked, speak to Mike.
Best thing to do with Mike is to get him pissed. Because he books anyone when he's pissed.
Yeah, he'll promise the world. And then I'll shoot you down and say, sorry, Mike's just got pissed again. And be
I think he's booked hasn't he booked a Inferno cage match for women or something like that?
Yeah, with envelopes with numbers on.
That's right.
On the top.
Yeah. The envelopes are big.
Thank you for listening to BWP Encore Radio. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out the official BWP website at www.britanniawrestling.co.uk.
Prison?
Court or something or other. But now we'll try and pop along to a few before obviously the end of the summer season.
You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Well, there you go then.
Fantastic.
Right, Tom, well, thank you very much.
Yes,
so
thank you,
probably
Tom.
will see you somewhere down the line in the BWP ring, or if not, at the shows, It was certainly when we were going to get pissed, yeah. as Beef mentioned earlier on, next month is the BWP start of the 2014 summer season, kick-starting with BWP Summer Rumble on Saturday the 26th of July at Preston in Frith Beach Arena. One of the biggest shows that we run every year. Quite a few new names entering this, new rookies, a few of your favourite regulars, so it's definitely a show that you need to get along to watch. There's no other way of watching it. It's not going to be online, it's not going to be on DVD, so the only way you're going to witness this is to come along to the show. Anything you want to add, Beef?
No, pretty much everything's covered. Just want to say again, thanks Tom for being so open and honest, and it's really appreciated. And obviously, there's you maybe started to bury some hatchets with the people out there who you might have pissed off, and hopefully things can only go up for you from here. So thanks again.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Enjoy the rest of the sun, and
Really don't think I should need it.
like I say, I think you are secret ginger because you are red lobster. Gorgeous, fantastic. Right.
Of course, keep your eyes open. We are doing one, as regulars will know, we used to do BWP Encore TV, which we've not done now for quite a few months. But we are doing a one-off special just before the Summer Rumble, so keep your eyes open on the BWP Facebook page, YouTube page, Twitter for that, which will feature DJ King and, of course, our Commissioner Angel D'Souza and a few very special guests. I'm sure you absolutely can. Speak to Mike. Until then, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and until next time, thank you very much. Good night.